One of the key roles of a leader is to get people to a place where they need you less and less as time moves on. You can see this principle many times throughout the ministry of Jesus. For instance, when he sent out the 70, you saw that he was allowing them to go out and work things out by themselves with the help of the Holy Spirit. You can also see it when he commissioned his disciples. He sent them out knowing that he was going to be with them in the form of the Holy Spirit. But we as human beings, sometimes we can, because he's not there with us physically, sometimes we can forget that the Holy Spirit is a person and he's with us too. It's just that he's living inside of us. A perfect example of this in the physical body ministry of Jesus is in Mark chapter 6, starting at verse 45. It says, immediately he made his disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side, to Bethsaida, while he dismissed the crowd. And after he had taken leave of them, he went upon the mountain to pray. And when evening came, the boat was out on the sea, and he was alone on the land. And he saw that they were making headway painfully, for the wind was against them. And about the fourth watch of the night he came to them walking on the sea. He meant to pass by them. But when they saw him walking on the sea, they thought it was a ghost and cried out, for they all saw him and were terrified. But immediately he spoke to them and said, take heart, it is I. Do not be afraid. And he got into the boat with them, and the wind ceased, and they were utterly astounded. Now, the disciples were struggling, taking this journey for quite a long time. We're not talking 30 minutes here. We're talking about 9 hours. So with the watches of the night, 6 p.m. was the first watch until 9 p.m. And then the second watch was 9 p.m. till 12. Third watch was 12 till 3. And the fourth watch was 3 until 6. And so Jesus didn't come to them until after 3 p.m. in the morning. And so they were going at it for maybe 9 hours, struggling on this water. And Jesus was just praying to the Father, spending time with him, watching his disciples go through this difficulty. And I don't know if you can relate to this, but there's so many times when I see people that are struggling, and I don't want to see people struggling, so I want to help them. However, sometimes helping people and not allowing people to tie their own shoelaces can end up putting people into a point where they're going to end up tripping up as they end up getting further on in their walk, because they can't do up their shoelaces because we didn't give them the opportunity to learn. And so this is, I think, one of the key functions of a leader, is to help people get to a point where they can become more and more independent over time. And of course, we know that that independence isn't actually independence, because it is with the Holy Spirit. And so the role of a leader is to help people get to a point where they have cultivated their relationship with the Holy Spirit,